Hi, this is Scott from Specter Gear. We're out on the range once again doing some work with the Mini-14, and this is further development in that Mini-14 knowledge base series of videos that I've been doing. And what I want to talk about today is running the charging handle on your Mini-14. Now, before I get into that, I'll tell you briefly about a training experience I had when I was at Gunsight and some decisions I had to make whether or not I was going to stick with something or kind of use my own method. And I've always kind of followed a principle that I heard many years ago. It's attributed to Bruce Lee, and that is absorb what is useful and discard the rest. And where he came up with this, he was talking about how he developed his own fighting style via an amalgamation of a bunch of different disciplines, and he pulled the best of everything and then created his own fighting style. And in going to different gun schools over the years, I've kind of cobbled together my own way of approaching weapon systems. But one that I found it kind of problematic is when I went to Gunsight, and this goes back a long time. We're talking mid-90s, but I was a Gunsight certified tactical carbine instructor, and as part of that, I had to learn I had to learn a method for teaching people how to operate carbines. Now, rather than teach the instructors how to instruct on each carbine system, they just came up with a system that you could apply to all carbines. Now, that's okay, but sometimes an approach for one weapon system isn't going to work for another. And one thing that they were particularly into was making sure that they always operated all of the controls on the weapon from under the weapon rather than over the top of the weapon. Now, I had naturally developed an instinct that when I ran the operating handle on a Mini-14, I would just simply bank the weapon like so, come back, hit it, and run. Just run it to the rear and let it go. Or if I was charging, same thing, just like that. Because it was the least amount of movement from the fore end to here to back. But they wanted me to go under the weapon and use this method here. And what that would usually result in was if I was running that handle, I would do like this and my hand would release and follow down here, and I'm in a really weird position and I have to get all the way back forward again, and I didn't really feel that was particularly efficient for the Mini-14. So whatever method you use, I'll just show you what I use. And what I generally will use is if I'm in a slide lock condition, so the mag is locked, the bolt to the rear, I'm simply going to load the fresh mag in. And what I do is I just come across here, right across the top of the weapon. I use kind of a reverse knife edge. I use this portion, and I just hit that, let it go, and then I'm back up again. And I find that to be particularly efficient because the hand only has to move about 8 inches in either direction. It's a real quick tip, but it's one that you might find useful. But running that and making sure you run it efficiently is very important. Now, when it comes to clearing malfunctions, same thing. Turn the gun, run. But the reaching under the weapon like so doesn't feel particularly natural to me. If it does to you, fine, but this is the method that I prefer. So again, this is a really quick tip. I'll end it there. Thank you very much for watching it or listening, and if you're interested in any of our Specter Gear Mini-14 products, please visit us at spectergear.com. Thanks a lot.